That locker room is excited tonight. That's a nice win for us. We played with a lot of energy. And again, we came out of the locker room and we've had some really good third quarters. And our defense was once again really good in the third quarter, and it allowed our bench to play the entire fourth quarter, which we were unable to accomplish in Indiana. So it's an excited locker room that we took care of business. And that means going into the All-Star break, we're guaranteed to have already won 3 series against Eastern teams. And if you would have told us before the All-Star break that we would have won series against Washington, Atlanta, who were on paper were probably the favorites in the East after last year, and Indiana, we couldn't have drawn that up better. Now we get New York for the first time after seeing them a couple times in exhibition, but they're totally different. But we're really proud of 3 series wins in the East before the All-Star break. As good as Brittany Sykes was tonight, and she was fantastic and hard to contain, we did some things that felt like we disrupted them and got them out of rhythm, especially in the second half. And our offense just stayed in attack mode. We ran like the Connecticut Sun has run in past years. The tempo was higher tonight. There is an emphasis to get out and run. Those guys wanted to play fast. It's how we like to play. You just haven't seen that all year consistently, but that is a great effort by them to play at a pace that was hard for Atlanta to keep up with after playing Wednesday night or Wednesday during the day.
Was the running because they're coming off the game Wednesday, or is it a function of Atlanta's length and speed causes problems defensively?
Yeah, we want to play fast all the time, but again, if you allow Atlanta's defense to get set and you don't get out in transition, they have such great rim protection with Breland and Williams. So we want to play fast. They're a man down without Hayes with her injury the other night. So we just wanted to increase the possessions, but it wasn't anything that we changed. We've always wanted to play that way, but that group was dedicated to get out and really run tonight. But it started with our defense. It started with our ability to defensive rebound. They didn't get one offensive rebound in the second half, not one. And that's a talented offensive rebounding team.
Was it nice to see Brianna Jones finally get back and get something going for herself?
Yeah, and she's had good practices, and we needed to give her a shot. I still felt Christine earned the right to be in first, but there was a conscious effort to get Bree minutes tonight. We didn't go back with Christine because we need Bree to regain her confidence, and she's a smart defender, a physical defender, and an underrated scorer around the rim. So it's nice to see. It's the Bree that we expected coming back after the great international season that she had.
When you see your bench, your starters celebrating when your bench is doing what they did early in the fourth quarter, how important is that in the whole scheme of what you're trying to build here?
Yeah, the chemistry is really, really improving. There's at times, because of our dynamic, that we have a core group, and that core group incorporates a lot of the starters. Now, Morgan Tuck and Rachel have been here a long time, and Bree Jones is in her 3rd year, but that core group is the starters. And when that starters always get referred to as a core group, sometimes, as much as I'm trying to build chemistry, I create a little bit of starter bench. But they are terrific, and they really cheered them on. They were not happy that I put them back in the game in Indiana. They wanted the bench to finish it out. So tonight, allowing the bench to finish the whole fourth quarter and the starters not going back in allowed them to really have fun and cheer for that second unit. And I'm happy for them. They played really well in that quarter.
Curt, what has Natisha gained since you cut her? What has she done that one made you want her back, and then is she doing what you thought that she would do?
Yeah, when you have a secondary all-star and leader in Leja Clarendon, ultimately this decision was so splitting hairs that it, as close as keeping Bridget, I would love to keep both of them, Bridget and Natisha. It ultimately came down that we had a former All-Star in Lasia Clarendon being able to run that second unit, so we decided to keep more wing depth. When she went down, it flip-flopped. If that would have happened in training camp, we would have kept her from the beginning. You're seeing what we saw. She is really smart. She can run a team, and she's a very talented offensive player. What's underrated about her, because you think she's so skinny, is that she can be disruptive and long defensively, and she will rebound. She's another guard like Courtney Williams that will rebound her position. If anything's different from training camp, she's put on 8 pounds of good weight, and she's enjoying extra workouts on her own in the weight room, and she's taking pride that she's gaining muscle weight and knowing, and now that she's experiencing this league, she realizes she needs that. But we're really excited to have her back, and you see the potential that she has.
Is she behind it all in the mental part of the game? I mean, and not just for a rookie, but just catching up with what she should know?
She is fantastically smart X's and O's wise. So she's not behind in knowledge of the game. What she's a little bit behind is that just the uncertainty of our entire playbook. You know, we don't have a lot of time to slow down and catch her up. She's got to catch up all the time. And so you see a little hesitancy at times on what plays to call to get certain people the ball. But she's so dang smart, X's and O's wise, that I let her call a huge percentage of the plays in the fourth quarter. And when I needed to give her something, she knows how to run it. So she's got a future. She's got a future. I don't think she's going anywhere. She has a future in this league.
Can you catch me up on kind of the short form of what happened in the losing streak? I mean, other than losing Lasia, which was a big deal. And that part I understand. What else was going on in the road?
Yeah, I said this numerous times. There was not one thing you could point our finger on. There was games where we probably played well enough defensively on some nights to win, but our offense was off. There was nights where our competitiveness was good enough to probably grind out a win, but we had too much defensive slippage. There was certain individuals that in those stretches had shooting slumps. So as we addressed one leak, something else sprung open, and so it wasn't one thing. The one common denominator that I shared, through that stretch was teams shot consistently over 50% in the first quarter. So we always fell on our heels, and we were always digging ourselves out of a hole. And so we just could never get ahead. We were fighting so far, always fighting from behind. So we've had some first quarter struggles defensively in that stretch, but it wasn't one thing that you can say, but if I had to, pinpoint one thing that was pretty common was our first quarter struggles. And did we have the right game plan in? Did we come out flat? I'm not sure. I'm still not sure, what it was, but better first quarter tonight. Now that was their best offensive quarter by far, but we came out with a lot of energy offensively, tempo-wise, in the first quarter, and that was nice to see, because that was not always the case in that losing streak.